Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be reacting to an animated story called If I Sleep I Die. Let's get into the video.
This happened when I was 17. It was a normal night like all the others. After a long school day and getting a ton of schoolwork done, I was finally going to get some sleep. So I got into my favorite comfy pajamas and slipped into my bed. I instantly fell asleep in no time.
Well, I mean, that's not good because apparently if she sleeps, she dies. I feel like this story's definitely going to have some type of weird medical mystery.
And it was the most relaxing feeling ever. However, sometime later, I felt direct light into my eyes, which woke me up. I opened my eyes and at first, the vision was blurry, but then it slowly started clearing up.
Ew, what is that? I'm sorry, but if you woke up and you seen that staring at you, you honestly would be traumatized. That's something you see in a nightmare. Why can't we just see an old, saggy, hairy woman?
When I could properly see, I saw an old, horrifying woman with messy hair and a staff at my bedside. I immediately started to panic and scream for help.
I don't blame you. If I seen a thing like that staring at me, I honestly think I'd have a panic attack. That's actually terrifying. And it doesn't help that they added scary sound effects as well. You guys, these people are trying to give me a heart attack.
But I realized that I couldn't speak. But before we move on, like this video.
Well, I mean, they have got a point. If you're new, smash the subscribe button and leave a like in this video. Let's resume this video.
Then the woman started speaking. Do not panic. I come to you with a message. The sooner I deliver the message, the sooner I'll leave.
How can you turn around and tell her not to panic? If you seen somebody like that staring at you in the middle of the night and you don't know who they are, you would panic. This stranger has literally broken into her bed.
She said, so I stopped trying to scream. What message could it be? I thought, thinking it would be something good, but it was nowhere near good. If you ever sleep again in your life, you are going to die, she said, and started getting out of the room.
But that doesn't make any sense. She has to sleep if she wants to survive. I think the longest somebody's ever stayed awake was 30 days. Like, imagine not sleeping for a month. That's how you die. Who is this random woman? Like, why is she broken into her house?
It left me shocked and confused, and I had so many questions, so I started screaming at her again to wait. But as before, I couldn't utter a word. But I was trying so hard that I finally was able to scream on the top of my lungs. Wait! Right then, I woke up and realized everything that happened at that moment was just a dream.
Wait, so that means that she can't sleep. This is a weird video. Like, this girl's having some really weird nightmare.
The woman was not real, but what she said was horrifying enough to leave me with a scar.
To be honest, I don't know if I'd be more scared of what she said or how she looks. She looked terrifying. Like, she looked like Prince Philip.
And since then, I started fearing sleep. It was already morning when I woke up, so I got ready for school and headed out. I didn't think much of the night before at school, and everything went on as normal.
How are you just gonna go on as normal with your life? Like, if something like that happened to me, I don't think I'd be able to get out of bed. I'd be scared that, like, I'd go down my street and she'd just be, like, hiding behind a bush.
After school was over, I headed back home, and soon it was night, but I didn't want to sleep. I was absolutely freaked out by the idea of sleeping, thinking it would lead to my death, even though I knew that woman was just a dream. My mind was playing games with me as I was overthinking things that could happen to me if I slept, so I couldn't even look at the bed.
Overthinking at night is the worst thing ever. I've been trying to fix my sleeping schedule recently, but I'm never able to sleep. I can only sleep if I'm literally exhausted. I cannot force myself to sleep and I wish I could. The only way I'm able to sleep is if I'm literally so tired. Like, I literally just lie in my bed and I keep overthinking. It's so annoying.
I had made up my mind that I was not going to sleep at any cost. So I went down to the kitchen and made some coffee, took out some energy drinks from the fridge, and went back to my room. Like that, I focused all night on drinking coffee and energy and getting a lot of schoolwork done.
See, I used to always do this whenever I pull all-nighters. It's all fun and games until it hits about 11 AM the next day. Trust me, you will be wrecked.
At the end of the night, I was feeling optimistic, thinking I could totally make it without sleeping. It was morning soon, and I got ready and went to school as usual. Throughout my time in school, I did feel a little tired, but not very exhausting.
The worst feeling ever is whenever you feel tired but not exhausted. Your eyes feel so heavy. That feeling is why I don't pull all-nighters anymore. Like, I don't know how to describe it, you just kind of feel really faint. You don't feel tired, but you are tired.
It was a regular day despite the fact that I hadn't slept. However, when the second night arrived, things started getting a little troublesome.
How is she gonna stay awake for another night? That's gonna be 48 hours without sleep. She's literally gonna put herself in hospital.
I was getting more and more afraid of the idea of sleeping, but my body and mind were drowning in exhaustion. But I couldn't even close my eyes even for a few seconds, because whenever I felt like sleeping, I would see the face of that old scary lady in my dreams and would get so scared that I would completely give up on the idea.
Honestly, fear is one way to stop you from sleeping. Whenever I was like 14, I used to always watch scary videos on YouTube before I go to sleep, and that would keep me up all night. Like, I don't know why, it just messes with your brain. You literally think that like there's an alien outside your house, or that like somebody's in your closet watching you. It's terrifying.
However, I had to do something to stay up all night and keep myself busy and stay afar from sleeping. For that, I put on my headphone, turned on a piece of dancing music to the loudest, and sipped on my coffee and started dancing.
Does she not live with anyone? Like, does she live alone? Because surely if you're dancing, it's gonna wake up your whole house. And why has the old lady chosen her? Why isn't she terrorizing her whole family?
You see, I was willing to do anything to stay awake. After dancing for some time, I filled my bathtub with ice cubes and took an ice bath without thinking of the consequence, because any consequence at that time to me was better than sleeping and not waking up after.
Yet again, is she not gonna wake her family up? Where did she get all of this ice? Like, I'm pretty sure ice baths aren't good. I thought you were only meant to take ice baths after loads of exercise. That's what she should do. She should do exercise. But then I guess that might tire you out.
That night passed and it was another day at school. But this day was different from the others because I was visibly exhausted. I was tired, weak, and drained. And honestly, I hadn't even wanted to come to school in the first place, but I had no choice.
That is literally me with some of my YouTube videos. I don't know if you guys have realized, but sometimes I'll stay up all night and film loads of videos the next day. The first two videos are usually fine, but whenever it gets to the third one, I'm so drained. Like, whenever you're exhausted, you feel so lightheaded, you don't know what you're saying. And with me, whenever I'm really tired, it makes it look like I've been crying. So in some of my videos, it looks like I've been crying and people comment, "Oh my god, are you okay?" When in reality, I'm just exhausted.
So I was walking in the hallway and the popular boys, aka the bullies, noticed me coming and they must have probably seen my tired face. As I was walking past them, one of them screamed, "Hey, you have trash bags under your eyes," to me, suggesting my eye bag. And all the other guys laughed.
Literally last year, everybody hated eye bags. I haven't got like massive eye bags, but sometimes if I haven't slept, I've got really bad under eye bags. Apparently now that's seen as beautiful in a trend in TikTok. I swear there was a trend in TikTok where people literally drew on eye bags. How are you gonna make something I have into a trend when I literally would get hate for it? People used to always make fun of me for having big bags under my eyes, and now it's seen as beautiful. It's so weird.
I was so embarrassed that I quickly ran to my classroom. In the class too, my friends must have noticed me looking weak, so one of my friends, Kara, asked me, "Mindy, you look sick. Are you fine? What's going on with you?" At that point, I totally regretted not wearing makeup that day, but I told her that it was nothing and that I was fine and nothing was wrong.
Makeup is so good at hiding under eye bags. I think the thing you're meant to use is concealer because it conceals the bags. I honestly might buy some. I don't think mine are that bad, but sometimes they're awful.
But the way they were so concerned about me and the way I looked, I bet they didn't believe me for a second and knew something was going on. So, just like that, that day came to an end and another dreadful night arrived.
She literally needs to sleep. Like, if she doesn't sleep, she's gonna faint. She's literally gonna be put into hospital because she's so exhausted.
It was going to be the third night in a row without sleeping, but I had no idea how I was gonna make it through that gruesome night. So I started planning for some ways to stay awake. I took out my diary and started making a list of ways that could keep me up. The first on the list was energy drinks and coffee, which had become a regular for me.
She's literally gonna have a heart attack. She's drinking way too much. I think the longest I've stayed up for is like 30 hours or something like that. I don't think I could stay up for 2 or 3 days at a time. That's like too extreme for my body.
The second was an ice bath, like the one I had taken the night before, but I was not a big fan of that option. Then the third thing I listed was going for a walk. Going for a walk. Perfect, I thought. As bad of an idea as it was, going for a walk alone at night, it didn't seem that bad to me at the time as falling asleep and dying.
Yeah, but she has to be careful because that old woman might be in her garden. Go for walks around your garden, not out in the street. You don't know who's out in the street. Like, going for walks at night is so dangerous. Trust me, I used to go for walks at like 10 p.m. and it's actually kind of scary. Like, you don't know if somebody's watching you. It's kind of weird.
So I put on my hoodie body and walking shoes and got ready to head out. I snuck out of the house very quietly so that my parents wouldn't hear me going out. I didn't want to trouble them or get in trouble myself.
Wait, so has her parents not realized that she looks really tired? I mean, if I ever look really tired, my parents ask me straight away, why aren't you sleeping? Like, you look exhausted. She also needs to take a weapon with her, like she's going out on a walk at night. It's dangerous.
So I got on walking and it was helping a lot. I was enjoying the quiet and the cool breeze of the night and the twinkling stars. I walked up to some point for about 30 minutes and then I thought it was too far from home. Also, I started getting a little scared, and just as I was turning back, I saw some shadowy figures of people behind me.
Oh my gosh, that's actually terrifying. But that happens to me all the time whenever I'm going for walks. I don't know why, but I get so paranoid so easily. Like, imagine you're on a walk on your own and you think somebody's following you. You sort of keep looking around you just to double check and nobody's actually there. But if you think in your head that somebody's watching you, it honestly messes with your head so much.
At first, I didn't think much of it, but after walking some distance, I felt as if they were still behind me. Are they following me? I thought, because it seemed like that, but I had to make sure.
And that is why you need to take a weapon with you. Even if that's like a small panic alarm or like a bat, I don't know. Take something with you so you can protect yourself. She also needs to take a flashlight because by the looks of it, she doesn't have one. Like, if you're going to be walking down dark roads, you need to be able to see.
So I fastened up my pace a little and started walking hastily, and they too changed their pace and were still behind me. At that point, I got scared for my life and didn't know what to do, so I started to run without thinking, and while running too, I could still feel the people behind me were running after.
Yeah, that is so freaky. Like, she needs to get out of that area immediately. All of this has literally happened because of some old woman in her dream. Like, it's literally a dream. Why is she doing what the woman asked her to do? This woman is literally trying to kill her.
I was pretty sure that if I didn't get to the house first, those people would kidnap me. And thankfully, after some time, I finally reached home completely out of breath. Got in and immediately locked the doors behind me. I even checked if other doors and windows in my house were locked or not. And after making sure they were, I went to my room.
What's she gonna do now? Like, she's literally back in her room. The only thing she can do is sleep.
Then, the rest of the night that was remaining, I spent it looking out the window to see if those people had followed me to my house, and if they were still there. Nothing as such happened, and the morning finally came. It felt like such a long night. So it was time to get ready to go to school, but I was so tired that I couldn't even get up from the chair I was sitting on. Then suddenly, my mom came to my room to check up on me. "Sweetie, Zara called saying you didn't look good at school yesterday," she said, opening the door to my room.
So her mum has only noticed now that her daughter looks wrecked. I know all families are different, but does she not like eat breakfast and dinner with her parents? Do her parents not drop her off at school? Like, do her parents not see her at all? Surely her parents should have noticed that she looks tired.
But as soon as she saw me, almost lifeless, however still conscious because of the fear of sleeping, she ran to me and touched my face to check the fever. Instantly after that, she started screaming for my dad because I was burning up with a fever. He came up running and they rushed me to the emergency room.
You guys, I told you she's literally gonna end up in hospital. She must have like some type of mental health condition where she like sees things. Maybe she's got something like schizophrenia, because I think schizophrenic people see people who aren't there and hear things that aren't said.
The doctor there checked on me and instantly figured out that I was sleep deprived. So she asked the nurse to give me some anesthesia so that I could get some rest and be cared for because my fever was clearly due to the exhaustion.
I told you she's literally in hospital because she's exhausted. She's been given anesthesia, so that means that she's literally going to be put to sleep. What's going to happen? Like, what is the old woman going to say?
But I was not up for it. The anesthesia was going to make me go to a state of sleep that terrified me. So I resisted and screamed and cried not to be made unconscious. Now when I think of it, I wonder how I got the energy to resist and scream even though I was so weak. The doctor suspected what was going on with me quickly, but it was not her area of expertise, so she made an emergency appointment with another doctor, a psychiatrist. And then my parents took me to her. There, the psychiatrist asked me to give the details of what was going on in my mind.
I think she's gonna get diagnosed with something, and I've got a feeling it might be schizophrenia.
So I told her everything that had happened, from the dream about the old scary lady, what she had said, and all the things I had done to stay awake from that moment. She immediately figured out my problem and diagnosed me with somnophobia, a fear of sleeping.
Oh, so she got diagnosed with something else? I thought she was gonna be diagnosed with schizophrenia. They're basically the same thing. Like, they're both mental health issues and they both begin with S.
After the diagnosis, since I was very sick and my condition was getting worse and worse, she started my treatment right away. And for that, her first step was getting me at least some sleep. So she transferred me to another room along with my parents. There was a bed there, and later a few chairs were brought in so that my parents and the doctor could sit around me. Then she started to talk to me, which made me feel safe. She told me that nothing would happen to me as they would be right there protecting me.
See, isn't it so crazy that people actually have this issue? Imagine being too scared to sleep because you think you're gonna die.
She also gave me a gummy telling me it would make me feel better, which I later realized was a melatonin gummy. The doctor was really successful wearing down my fear because finally, after 4 days, I was able to give in and fall asleep.
I'm just amazed that she lasted 4 days without sleep. How many hours is that? That's literally 60 hours. I just looked it up and it's 96 hours. So it's even more than what I thought it was. Like, it's a long time.
After 6 hours, I got up finally, and it felt like I was just reborn.
She got 6 hours of sleep. Whenever I pull all-nighters, I will literally go to sleep and sleep for about 16 hours. That's like going to bed at midnight and getting up at 6 a.m. Even after a good night's sleep, I couldn't do that. She is so sleep deprived, like she needs to be careful.
I felt way better and less exhausted, and even my fever was down. Then the doctor further suggested cognitive behavioral therapy for my treatment, and for me to meditate and listen to soothing music if I didn't feel like sleeping, so that my body and mind would still get some rest. After that, slowly, I started feeling better and better every day. However, I would occasionally feel scared to fall asleep, and at those times, I would either meditate, which helped but not much, or ask my mom to watch over me while I fell asleep, which made me feel safe and calm.
And just like that, the video's now over. At least that video had a happy ending. Anyways, guys, that is the end of the video. We reacted to an animated story time. I linked the channel that made this video down in the description down below, so definitely go and check them out. If you want to see me react to more of their videos in the future, let me know and I definitely will. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the subscribe button and leave a like in this video. If you enjoyed this video, definitely go for and watch all my other videos. Guarantee if you enjoyed this video, you'll like my others. And yes, I will see you all in my next video.